Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Working on the S10 again today. Got a decent amount of work to do. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys kind of what I am working on. So as you can see here, I have one of the manifolds taped up on all the flanges. Same thing around on this side. And you can see I have some cans in the back. So what I have here is the Eastwood product line on exhaust coating. So they have an internal exhaust coating and a high temp coating. I am not sponsored by Eastwood, but I figured I would give these a try to see if I can knock down some of the temperatures on the manifolds. And also, since they are cast manifolds, the exterior coating here will help prevent this from rusting as it heat cycles and everything. I mean, it's going to be like a manifold you see on a stock truck motor. So yeah, I kind of want to try preventing this from rusting. I am also looking at wrapping this as well, just to keep the temperature outside of the engine bay, let it go through the exhaust and out. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. I want to get the heat out of the engine bay, make the manifolds last, and look better. Even if I do wrap it and you can't see it, I will feel better knowing that it's got some sort of coating on it. So the first step with this, as always, is to tape up any surfaces you don't want. So the kind of the way I'm going with this is I'm going to go ahead and put these in the sandblaster, sandblast the whole exterior surface so that the exterior coating has something to bite onto. And then I will be pulling the tape off after sandblasting, doing the cleaning with the pre-painting prep that they recommend. Then I will put this nozzle on the internal exhaust coating, coat the inside of the exhaust, let it dry, do the other one, the other manifold, and then we will go back with the pre-paint prep on the exterior and coat it via the instructions that are on the back of the can. So it sounds like a simple process. Hopefully it is. I have never used this before. I don't know how well it's going to work. Obviously, I'm not going to know for a while how well it works until I get the truck running, but I should be able to make a lot of progress on the actual assembly of the truck once I get the manifolds on. Like I said before in a previous video, this is kind of the basis of once I get this done, then hopefully a lot of things can start happening with the truck, and we can start making a lot of progress with getting it running. So with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and get this in the sandblaster and start blasting it. So as you can see, I have taken the manifold out of the sandblaster. Everything turned out pretty well. You can see there's a few dark spots here and lighter spots. The darker spots are where I had my hands on the manifold as I was carrying it from the sandblaster here. Once you spray it with the prep and clean it all up, it'll all look uniform and be ready to go. So with the exterior done on this, next is to work on the interior. Should be a pretty easy process to do it. It seems pretty straightforward in the instructions, so we'll just have to see. As you guys can see, I have made it outside with everything. Basically, I have my powder coating set up right here, and I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning the inside with the pre-prep spray. Like I said before, I'm going to add the nozzle that I bought with the kit. Go through, drag it through, clean it all out, and then we will go with the internal coating. So I have here the nozzle. So basically it's an extension nozzle, has a regular tip that goes on a paint can, and then it's got a bronze tip here that will supposedly spray completely 360 around. So the idea is you push this in, and as you're pulling it out, you spray it, and it will either clean or coat depending on what you have attached to the nozzle. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put this on the pre-paint can and then spray it through, clean everything out, and do the same thing with the internal coating. well, I believe I got it on everything. I just kind of put it in one side, dragged it through. Next one, drag through, and then the final one drag through. So that should have gotten everything as far as cleaned. Gonna let it dry and then I will coat it. Alright, I got the internal spray shook up. All of the prep spray is dry. I'm gonna go ahead and put goggles on just because I want to protect my eyes. Go and put the nozzle on, and as I do that, I'm gonna try keeping it away from me when I spray it and prime it. There we go. Prime it. You can see the tube here is filled with gray, it looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick this in and spray. So I have done that, and now from what I have read in reviews, you want to take it and roll that around in here. Make sure to not get it above your shoes because it will leak out. And like for me, it doesn't look like it came out the absolute greatest for an even coating, so I'm just gonna go back in there, spray some more. And to clean the nozzle, you want to put it back on your prep can and spray. Now I'm just going to let it sit and dry for a while before I move on to the next step. After spraying the inside and internally coating the manifold, now I'm going to prepare for the outside. As you can see, I have it hanging up. I'm going to go ahead and spray it down with the pre-painting prep, or you can use acetone, either will work. So just going to go ahead and spray the whole thing down, basically just degreasing it. So, getting ready to use the high temp coating. It says to apply 2 to 3 coats lightly and allow 30 to 45 minutes in between. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and shake this up, spray the first base coat on. I'm going to do 3 coats. So, and just like that, we're good with the first coat. You can see it does not fully cover everything. Again, it's supposed to be a light coat. If you do thick coats, you have a chance at flaking, etc. So, first coat, not too bad. Second coat, we'll try to build up a little more material and make it look a little bit more even. And then third coat, it should all look pretty uniform at that point. So I'm going to go ahead and let it sit for 30 to 45 minutes like it recommends, and come back and do the second coat. Alright, and that is the third coat. So just to let it dry and then probably go and attempt to do the baking process. We're going to do a little bit different than the instructions, so I'll tell you guys more about that later. As you guys saw, I finished coating the manifold yesterday and it all turned out really good. Nice even coating. Everything looks good. Everything's been coated. It's all uniform. Just turned out phenomenally. And comparing that to the old one or the untreated one, you can tell there's a huge difference. So this one was on the truck and it looks like I did get my hands on it a little bit and got some surface rust on it possibly from the oils in my hands. So this one definitely needs to get sandblasted and then treated as well. Hopefully the coating will last on this one. There is still one more step that we got to do to cure it, at least the external coating. So they say to run it on your vehicle for 20 minutes to basically burn it in. Well, that's not going to happen for a while, and I want to get it to a somewhat cured state, so I'm going to be throwing it in our small powder coating oven, and that should at least get it partially cured. You definitely don't want to do this in your normal oven or your cooking oven. They also say to do it in an open space because there will be fumes coming out, so I would suggest against doing that. But since we are in the shop with the doors open and it's an oven that we don't use for food, we'll put some fans up, have it exhaust out, and I think we'll be fine with that. So I will be doing that later. I'm going to go ahead and get this coated. I'm not going to show you guys all the same steps I just finished with this one, so I'm going to go ahead and cut back once this one is done. As you can now see, both manifolds have been coated, all dry, all looks really good. The coating got complete coverage on everything. I did 3 coats like I said before. Everything looks good. So previously I said what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in the oven. So the instructions actually say, you know, let dry 24 hours after you coat them, then put them on the vehicle, or then you can put them on the vehicle, and then you want to let it run for 20 minutes with it on. Well, that's not going to be for a while, for my truck at least, and when I do get it running, at least the first time, it's definitely not going to be for 20 minutes in a row. So I'm going to try pre-curing them a little bit by putting them in an oven for 20 minutes. Now, like I said before, you don't want to do this in a cooking oven. We have a shop oven that we use for powder coating. We're going to use our small one. And yeah, you definitely want it to be in a well-ventilated area, etc., just to be safe, because you don't know what kind of toxins are going to come out into the air, or gases, etc. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven, cure them, and then I will pull them back out, and they should be ready to install once they cool off. Alright, if we come and open up our oven, everything has cooled down. So what I ended up doing was, so I baked them for the recommended time, 15 minutes. And then after that, I turned the oven off, left them in there, and I just let them cool down in the oven gradually as the oven cools down. So they have been in here for a couple days, definitely cool by now. Obviously it won't take days if you bake them, but I've been busy. So I'm going to take them out, go ahead and put them on the truck. But from what I can see so far, coating looks really good. Hopefully they're partially cured like I wanted them to be. Won't have to worry about any chipping or anything putting them on the truck, which I really wasn't worried about anyway, but they are partially cured, so that is a good thing. And then, you know, obviously when I do the first start on the truck, that's not going to be long, but once I actually get the truck to a sustainable running, they'll burn off, or you'll start to see smoke come from exhaust like new exhaust are, and that'll actually cure them on. So yeah, I mean, like I said, just wanted to get a partial cure. Now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and put them on the truck. Before I actually go to put them on the truck, just wanted to show them again. They both look really good. I am very happy with how it turned out as far as the external coating. The internal coating is still there, and it doesn't look too bad. Probably could have been a little bit more even on my application, but as long as there's coverage, I'm hoping that everything will stick and keep the temperatures in the bay a little cooler. So for real this time I'm going to go ahead and put them on the truck. Probably not going to film any of that just because there's not much to see there. So I will catch back to you guys once I get these on the truck. Alright, and we're looking at the engine bay, and as you can see, the manifolds are in. So passenger side, driver side, got them all torqued down, put in, good. Torqued them to 15 foot-pounds, except for the rear one here. I was using a swivel trying to get to it, and I didn't want to strip out the bolt that I'm using, so I think I only got that one to like 7 or 8, somewhere around there, but it should be fine. I'm not too worried about it. It's not going to leak. They're probably going to have to be retorqued down anyway. So yeah, I also put the steering shaft on, as you can see. Hopefully that was the final time. Got it on here, put blue Loctite on, so hopefully that should be good. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the manifold install, and getting those all settled and good, so I can finally move on into making more progress on this truck rather than working on these manifolds. So overall, we got the manifolds coated and put on the truck, so that'll pretty much wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.